is the state of hockey, the Hockey Lodge inside XL Energy Center as we bring you inside the rink. Tonight, the start of a two-game homestand for the Minnesota Wild as they take on the Columbus Blue Jackets. Welcome to the game, everyone. Matt McConnell and Mike Greenlay with you. And oh, what a great road trip it was for the Minnesota Wild. 5 out of a possible 6 points. And a lot of heroes from that trip, a lot of contributions from just about every. As we take a look at tonight's Wells Fargo starting goaltenders.
Well, last year he set an NHL record with over 4,500 minutes played. He's not playing that regularly this year, but he's still garnering most of the ice time in the nets. Down at the other end, still trading off by the Minnesota Wild and doing it very nicely. Dwayne Roloson, again, has been spectacular. Look forward to him having a solid game here against Columbus this evening.
Dwayne Roloson, 12 of his last 13, allowing 2 goals or less. So we'll see what happens here tonight. The Columbus Blue Jackets haven't won on the road all season. They're 0-10, 1-2, and the Wild 6-8, 3-0 here on XL Energy Center ice. Wes Walz ready to get this thing going, as is Jeff Sanderson for the Columbus Blue Jackets. So we're set for the opening face-off. Weimer takes it against Marchand. The puck is played at center ice, and that's where it'll be dumped in by Weimer. Puck played in behind the net. Looking to move it along there was Todd Roloff, intercepting Weimer. Looked to get it to the front, and the Blue Jackets will move it back to center ice. Trevor Letowski, he'll dump it in behind the net. We'll get you the scratches momentarily here, as this one sent to the front, and Bombardier moves it out of the zone, and he'll clear it right back to center ice. The Wild winning, taking, I should say, 5 of a possible 6 points on the 3-game road trip. The Columbus Blue Jackets losing last night 2-1 at home against Calgary. In behind the net, Andre Zuzin. He's back in the lineup as it's played around on right wing for Pierre-Marc Bouchard. And it looks like we get a puck played with a high stick, and so a face-off.
Well, you said he's back in the line. There's Jason Weimer. Boy, has he been crashing around down low. And, you know, when he goes in the zone, he usually doesn't just take one guy with him. He gets down there and takes a piece of 2 or 3 guys, and that usually knocks them off their stride enough so that it gives his line mates a chance to really move it around a bit. And he's been very effective. Weimer's been very effective.
Now some pushing and shoving in front of the net.
Well, this is what Columbus will do. They need to get something going. They need to change the dynamic of their game because they have not won on the road this year. One more loss, and they set a franchise high for a winless streak. And you're going to see a lot of pushing and shoving by both these teams. Another reason is that Columbus generally plays good against the Minnesota Wild. They're I guess you want to call them sister teams in terms of coming into the league, and they certainly don't want to drop anything to the Minnesota Wild. They won 3 of the 4 meetings last year, as a matter of fact.
Well, they went right to the front, and wearing number 61 right there, Rick Nash, the leading goal scorer in the NHL. They'll keep an eye on him all night long. He's got 20 goals. He's taken over the top spot from Ilya Kovalchuk of Atlanta, who's now gone 8 without a tally. And they just keep going at it. Well, Rick Nash, one of the great young talents in the National Hockey League here tonight in St. Paul.
Well, the Minnesota Wild don't mind having a team like this that they can really basically concentrate on 1 or 2 lines, because they can shut people down, they can shut lines down. As you take a look at Roloson getting himself straightened out.
Blue Jackets will win the draw. This one sent towards the net, blocked away. And now the Wild will get it outside the zone to center ice. Lead pass, Andre Zuzin. Zuzin will get one to the net, no problem. Glove saved by Mark Denis. And we'll get a face-off. So early, they pick up right where they left off on the road trip, and Andre Zuzin getting one towards the goaltender.
Well, and that's what you want to see. Of course, Zuzin missed last game because of that injury to the outside of his leg when he was hit by Peter Worrell by a shot in Colorado. But right back in the lineup, and expect to see him carry plenty of minutes. Hopefully the Wild don't lose a defenseman early here. The last 2 games in a row, they've lost a defenseman early in the game. Zuzin against Colorado, and of course Brad Brown against Edmonton.
Into the corner, locks it in. He's tied up there beautifully by Derek Walzer. Puck played in behind the net. And David Vaborny for Columbus will move it along to center. Lead pass, Nikolai Zherdev. They couldn't hook up. And now Alex Henry will play inside of his own zone for Wes Walz, who goes off the wall and all the way back to center. Opening minute here of this hockey game here Saturday night at XL Energy Center. David Vaborny will dump one in, and Alex Henry will give chase. Sergei Zoltak then moving along. Philippe Kuba to center. Now Kuba sends one into the right wing corner. Down low trying to pick it off is Alexander Day. Nice move to break away from a couple of Blue Jackets. Got some help there from Zoltak. And the Jackets will set it up as they look to move it along. Jamie Pusher. And now David Ling gets it to center. They are decimated on their blue line, are the Columbus Blue Jackets. This one played away by Rolison. Tyler Wright in behind the net. Looks to set it up there for Jody Shelley. Shelley, Wright, and Ling out there right now for Columbus as it's turned the other way, and Sergei Zoltak will get it to center. Zoltak into the zone. Wrist shot blocked away. Dave with a rebound, and he can't put it past goaltender Mark Denis. Back to center it goes. David Ling, and he'll dump one in. Right wing corner of the Minnesota zone. Just one shot in the game. It belongs to Columbus in the first 2 minutes and 45 seconds of the opening period. Kyle Wanvig that time going with roll-off along the near wall. Played in behind the net. Andre Zuzan behind. Now Andre Zuzan looks to set it up. Zuzan to the front. Holding at the line. Wanvig and a glove save by Mark Denis. Oh, Kyle Wanvig. He had 3 shots and really 3 scoring chances in his season debut at Edmonton the other night. He had a good one there.
Well, Kyle Wanvig was all over the puck against Edmonton, and I'm surprised he didn't score. And right here, he picks it up right where he left off and just tees one up, and Denis out there to make the glove save.
He stays out there with Weimer and Gaborik, and the puck is played in behind the net. So the scratches tonight for the Minnesota Wild. Pascal Dupuis along with Richard Park. A recently recalled Eric Reitz and Mark Schwannard. Delay penalty coming here against the Wild. So Columbus is going to go to the power play. And we will wait for the indication on the penalty.
Well, it looks like it's going to be Andre Zuzan.
Interference.
Interference is the call, and so the power play coming up. Check the right side of your screen right there. Dumps them. All of a sudden, it's a 1-on-2.
So Andre Zuzan at 3:18, interference the call. The Columbus Blue Jackets had plenty of chances on the power play last night. They were 0 for 13 on the man advantage. They had a little more than 4 minutes of 5-on-3 power play time. Derek Walzer sent on. Glove save. Rolison pops free, and it's going to be cleared away as Antti Laaksonen hustles it to center for Walz.
As you can imagine, that was a team record. 13 power play opportunities, and they came up with a big goose egg on the power play. Well, Wes Walz, you'll see him out there on plenty of occasions when they need a penalty killer. Walz kind of kicking himself the other night against Edmonton, lost the puck deep in his own zone, and it set up the eventual goal with 1.9 seconds left. But Jacques Lemaire said, hey, you know, he does so many good things out there on the ice that if he does a bad thing every once in a while, I think we can live with it.
Anders Eriksson will ship it in. Puck is played away, kept at the line by Eriksson, but hustling it up is Willie Mitchell. He got held on to. Now Nash to the front. Vaborny. His shot is stopped by Rolison. And again, we get a little bit of pushing and shoving in front. Columbus coming out early in this one, Mike. Very aggressive in front of the Minnesota netminder.
And I'm not surprised because of his size, but I'm surprised because of his because of the way he could put the puck in the net, that he's involved in it, and that's Rick Nash, their leading goal scorer with 20 goals. Nash has been right in the middle of those piles twice, and he's the one who gets a nice little feed here, and he'll just a little bit of a pass, and in comes Vaborny, and he just makes a good move. Good save by Rolison as he follows him, but look at Nash right into the mix there. So yeah, you like to see that. A big kid likes to put the puck in the net.
This one's going to be played away by Laaksonen and shipped down the length of the ice with 1:03 remaining in the Columbus power play. You mentioned David Vaborny. If you put him and Nash together, it is close to half of all of Columbus's goals scored this season. Antti Laaksonen on a turnover, shorthanded, brings it into the front. Walz, stop, rebound, score! Wes Walz, it's his second shorthanded goal of the season. 1-0 Wild.
2 shorthanded goals this year, and as you mentioned, Walls has both of them. Look at the turnover right here, off the back of a skate, and off they go. This is the transition game we saw all last year. The shot, and it trickles by Denis. A nice little pass there by Loxonen as he drew the defenseman towards him. And Walls gets it going here early in the game.
Well, a great start for Wes Walls. He was pretty upset after the game on Thursday at Edmonton. Great to see. He gets a shorty. 7th of the season at .432.
He did kick. It looked like he may have caught the puck, or not the puck, but Denis' pad or glove with his skate.
Yeah, and the play's under review too.
Yeah, and you know what? As soon as I saw that, I was thinking, did he kick it or not? But I think he may have just run into the goaltender and not actually kick the puck. But we'll sit here and wait because they have a better look at it.
And the determining factor is, was there a distinct kicking motion? You can direct it in with your skate, but you can't have the distinct kicking motion.
Well, Walls did drive to the net. He got the shot. He did not get the rebound, and it just seemed to trickle underneath the knee, and he calls it a goal.
Yep,
absolutely.
So a very quick review. The goal stands. Wes Walls is 7th, shorthanded, and here's a look.
Well, there it is, and he does get it on his skate. Wow. It wasn't a kicking motion, but it did go off his skate.
The other factor, too, is did it go off the knee before it crossed the net?
Actually, that does. I had to look that up, actually, but I don't think that matters. If you kick it and it hits the goaltender and goes in, it's still not a goal if you use a kicking motion. But you're allowed to direct it in. You're definitely allowed to direct it in. I think that's what Walls did.
Sador's Columbus still with 20 seconds left of their power play, and the Wild have taken a 1-0 lead. In behind the net, Philippe Kuba. A line up with a couple of Blue Jackets. Anders Eriksson at the line. Moves it along, Daryl Sador. Now Sador sent it high and wide. Rick Nash into the corner. He'll work it to the line for Anders Eriksson. This one's blocked away. Wild will move it to center. Gaborik can't handle the bouncing puck from Jim Dowd.
Well, Dowd waited. He held on to the puck long enough to give Gaborik a time to move it in.
Bouchard with a shot right on. Denis the save, and he'll hold on. Penalty has expired, and the Wild are back to full strength. Wes Walls with a big lift, shorthanded goal just moments ago. And you look at over the last 4 seasons, Wes Walls just 4 behind Brian Rolston for the top spot in the NHL.
Well, here's the turnover. Goaltender goes up the wall. If you're forechecking and pinching like the Wild are right here, it's just a little chip shot. That's Bouchard with the puck, gets it on net. Walls in on the rebound, but goaltender Denis covers it up.
Alex Henry will work it down low. Andrew Burnett working tonight with Jim Dowd and Matt Johnson. In behind the net, Johnson. He's trying to move it along on Derek Walser. Well, Johnson gives it off to Andrew Burnett to Johnson. Johnson will go after it in the corner. Burnett got upended. Play continues. Now Jim Dowd with it. Behind the net for Burnett. Centering play. Score! Matt Johnson. 2-0 Wild.
All right, I've been counting Johnson's goals this year and making a mental note of each one of them. This is another goal scorer's goal. He has not had a garbage goal this year. Every one he's had has been a very nice goal, and it just basically goes back against the grain. The puck will come back out that way, and there it is, right in between the legs of Marc Denis. Look at the move as he drives to the net, gives it over, and then he goes right back to the net. One-timer. Nice move by Johnson to go to the net, right onto his tape, hammers it in the net.
Great setup play by Andrew Burnett. And the puck will be played away to center. Bouchard with it, gets it into the zone, lost the handle. Wes Walls will keep it onside, and the Wild will set it up. Nick Schultz sends one in. Antti Loxonen leaves at the point for Bombardier. This one steered aside by Denis. In behind the net, Jamie Pusher, and he'll set it up for Anders Eriksson. So the Blue Jackets moving along, back to center ice, David Vaborny. Vaborny with it. Lost the handle. Loxonen, big turn at the blue line. Now picking this one off is rookie Nikolai Zherdev. Todd Roloff with it. He'll dump one in. Played behind the net by Rolison. Left wing side, Loxonen looks to set it up. And he'll bring it right back through center. Lead pass that time intended for Sergei Zholtoks, played away. And the Blue Jackets will set it up. Derek Walser with the puck. Gets it to center. Trevor Letowski dumps one in. Played into the corner. Handling it. Letowski behind the net. Looking to wrap it around that time, but they can't connect. Marchand all tied up. Alexander Daig. He'll send one in. Roll off for Columbus. Plays it in behind the net. Jeff Sanderson, and he'll clear it all the way back to the center ice line. Willie Mitchell moves it back into the zone. Roll off. Turns it the other way. And the Blue Jackets get it up on right wing. Sanderson trying to get around Willie Mitchell. Sanderson to the front, and that's put in off Zuzan's hockey stick. Andre Zuzan accidentally deflected that in front, and the Jackets are on the board.
Well, as a defenseman, you want to block that pass because that's what that was. It was basically a pass across the goal mouth to someone driving to the front, and just right off the skate or stick. And you know, a team like the Columbus Blue Jackets, they are going to need bounces like this. They're in a world of hurt. Let's put it that way. They're in a world of hurt in terms of their record. They're tied for last in the Western Conference with Chicago, and they're going to need bounces like that to get them going again.
So Sanderson's going to get credited with his 5th of the season at .742. Sanderson put up some really good numbers in the season series. Last year, 8 points in 4 games against the Minnesota Wild. Marian Gaborik to center. Into the zone. Weimer. He'll play to the corner. Gaborik looks to set it up to the front. Saved by Denny. Well, moments ago, it was Matt Johnson getting his 4th, and the Wild lead this one 2-1. Well, one of the newest members of the Minnesota Wild, Eric Chouinard, acquired from Philadelphia, making his Wild debut here this evening. Puck played in behind that. Kyle Wanvig out there with Marian Gaborik and Jason Weimer. Wanvig in the corner. He'll send it in behind the net. Weimer there. Took a rough ride. Jackets look to wrap it around. Willie Mitchell keeps momentarily Gaborik out high. Now handling it is Weimer. He'll send it in behind the net. Wanvig gives chase. So does Gaborik. Puck to the line. Kuba got one on the net, and that just deflected over by Weimer, and we'll get a whistle and a stoppage of play. Time now to take a look at tonight's Treasure Island Resort and Casino trivia question. And the question tonight, whose NHL record did Marc Denis break last season for most minutes played in one campaign? You can go to wild.com. Be the first to answer correctly. We'll hopefully have your name up on the screen a little bit later on when we give the answer.
Over 4,500 minutes he played last year. 77 games. That's incredible.
Penalty coming here. It's going to go against the Wild as Rolison touches up. Looks like roughing.
Jim Dowd's going to go for boarding.
Yeah, boarding.
I think he takes Jody Shelley actually into the boards. Here's the hit, and yeah, I don't know. That's pretty weak, I think. Should have. He took him in from the side.
Maybe an elbow.
Well, I mean, he called it boarding, so the inference is that he took him in at a bad angle like that. But oh well, the Minnesota Wild scored a shorthanded goal on the last Columbus power play.
And Wes Walz is back out there. He wins the faceoff. He scored that shorthanded goal. Willie Mitchell takes a bump. Daryl Sador keeps into the corner of Vaborny. He'll work it in behind the net. He'll try to set it up. Rick Nash, right wing corner. Nash to the front. Just deflected wide by Vaborny. At the line, Sador. Oh, great job by Willie Mitchell to get his stick in the lane. Puck ends up in behind the net. Andrew Castle's trying to set it up, but it's taken away by Bombardier, and he'll clear the length of the ice. This one played over the glass, and so we'll get a whistle and a stoppage.
Well, look at Brad Bombardier, and you know the Minnesota Wild. Talk about playing a close game. 10 of Minnesota Wild's last 11 games have been decided by 1 goal or ended in a tie. So they've played some tight hockey. And that's where you ask guys like veterans like Brad Bombardier to really lead you on and off the ice. And right now he's wearing that C because Richard Park again a scratch this evening as he mends a little bit from a shot he took in the Colorado game.
Yeah, Brad Brown, one of those scratches too that we did not pass along to you earlier. He's out. possibly up to 2 months.
Yeah, on the IR with a broken radius. Broken wrist.
This one played back. Rick Nash with it. Nash's shot blocked away, gets it right back, and this one into the corner. 55 seconds left in that penalty to Jim Dowd. Gaborik defensively goes back to give chase. Nice outlet for Wes Walz. And Walz will leave for Kuba, and he gets it right back. Walz, Kuba, overskated the puck, and the Blue Jackets counter. They'll bring it right back to center ice. Walzer knocked away. Good read there by Loxonen. Antti Loxonen forcing it back inside the zone. Todd Marchand. Now he moves it along for Nikolai Zherdev. Zherdev fell down on the play, and so Rolison will sweep it to Loxonen. And Antti Loxonen clears back to center. Darryl Sador. Intercepting is Willie Mitchell. Mitchell sends deep. 15 seconds left in that power play. And the Blue Jackets and Anders Eriksson will move it along. Into the zone it goes. Denied there. Turning with it is Jeff Sanderson. Now Sanderson knows the penalty's about to expire. He'll move it along to Zherdev, and out of the box is Dowd. So the Wild kill off yet another opposition power play. This one to the line. Zherdev, he got picked, and quick countering of the Wild as Dowd will move it along to the line. Drops it. Gaborik, wrist shot on, and a save by Mark Denis. Midway through the first, 2-1 Wild. 1-989-5151. Limited tickets do remain for Game 2 of this homestand Tuesday against Nashville. They'll drop the puck at 7. And Jim Dowd back at his own blue line will look to set it up for the Wild. They lead it 2-1. Goals tonight, Wes Walz and Matt Johnson. And Jeff Sanderson countering for Columbus. Into the corner, Jody Shelley plays it in behind the net for Andre Zuzin. Shelley and Johnson both out there right now, and Matt Johnson will bring it back to center.
Well, Johnson just worried about scoring goals right now. He has one in this game already.
Dowd works it to the line. Kuba can't keep it, so now Andre Zuzin will give chase. Plays it right back to Alex Henry. Into the zone it goes. Dave. Now the puck will be played right back to center ice. Rolison's going to hold on to it, and we'll get a whistle and a stoppage.
Well, here's a new face in the lineup, and maybe looks a little familiar. I'm not sure if he has that much resemblance to his cousin. He does actually look like him. I think it's the goatee that throws it off, but yes, cousin of Mark Chouinard. Eric Chouinard is, of course, newly acquired in a trade with Philadelphia just this week, and you know, he said he likes the fact that he's coming to this lineup because he knows that he's going to get an opportunity to play.
6'3", 215 pounds, and Eric Chouinard will bring it to the blue line back to center. This one's going to go up into the crowd. Talking with Eric earlier today, I asked him, I said, who's had the biggest influence on your career? And he was in Utah for a while. He was talking about how Utah coach Don Hay of the American Hockey League really, in his words, taught him what it was going to take to get to the National Hockey League level. And Don Hay, the former Calgary head coach, was also a coach in Anaheim a few years ago. Jacques Lemaire says we just got to figure out what kind of a game he has and what kind of a role, but I guarantee you it's offense. Out of Eric Chouinard as the puck is played away and down the length of the ice. Brad Bombardier will play to the corner. Eric Chouinard goes after it, coughed it up. And the puck is played over the glass and hits the netting, so we'll get a face-off.
Well, he said that Mark Chouinard, we talked to him last week when Mark was in the hospital, and basically Mark said to him how he's doing, and then this week when they spoke again, Mark said, could you believe when we were kids playing on the rinks and playing in the summer leagues and everything like that, that we would one day be on the same NHL club? And I said, no, you'd have to be crazy to think that.
He is the son of Guy Chouinard, the former Atlanta Flame who scored 50 goals in a season. Puck played in behind the net. Todd Roloff looks to move it along. Back to center. And behind the net. Wild will look to move it along. In on the forecheck that time. Big hit. Nikolai Zherdev in behind. Castles to the front. Vaborny, and he got checked off the puck at the last second by Walz. Now this one's sent on, and it's going to be knocked away by Walz, and he'll clear. Boy, I'll tell you what. The Blue Jackets gave up 2 quick goals, but they've settled down as the back touching is Todd Roloff.
I think that's good for the Wild to have a game like this, because if it turned into a 2-0, 3-0 game, that's when you start creating bad habits, and that's when you run into problems, when you get into situations you don't want to play in. And the Wild is still in a tight game. They need to play in tight hockey to play their best, and right now they've got that.
I think they're letting some of those bad habits creep in right now at 2-1. Chasing it down along the near wall, Marian Gaborik, but he got tied up. Again, Columbus beats the Wild to the loose puck, and this one's sent on. Into the corner, now behind the net. Jacklin tried to put it in front, bouncing puck, and finally played in behind the net by Gaborik.
Good defensive play by Bombardier. He picked up the loose man in front when the puck was sitting there.
Gaborik into the zone, holds, Wanvig, he shot one high and wide, and we'll get a whistle.
Well, there's Wanvig again, busting down the wing, and of course, Jacques Lemaire liked what he saw the other night, but you know, you have to be, you have to judge someone based on more than one game, whether they're good or bad. Here's a chance in front. Look at that jam away there by Nash, and the good defensive play as Bombardier just picks him up in front. That was Manny Malhotra who was looking around for that rebound, and Rolison was looking off in the other direction. He thought he trapped it along the post.
This one's going to go all the way back inside the Wild zone. Nick Schultz will play it. Played nearly 14 minutes of this hockey game as it's cleared right back to center ice. Free play there for Scott LaChance. He moves it along, and Walser now at center ice just tries to find Tim Jackman, and the puck will be played in behind the net. Brad Bombardier for the Minnesota Wild. 2-1. They lead the Jackets. Weimer will flip this one to center. Kyle Wanvig looking to advance. Now Jody Shelley gives it off to Tyler Wright. Bombardier took a big hit from Jody Shelley, and it's turned for Matt Johnson. Rink-wide pass into the zone, Burnett. Andrew Burnett holding on to it. He'll try to take it right towards the net. Matt Johnson in the corner. Gives it off to Jim Dowd. Dowd for the Wild, goes behind the net. Burnett will pick it off there. Now Matt Johnson. Johnson holding on to it, back to Burnett. Burnett all tied up, and the puck is going to be worked around the wall and all the way back to center. Now David Ling has words with Matt Johnson.
Well, Matt Johnson carries probably a little more weight and height than does Ling.
Ling with 32 penalty minutes and a single point on the season. Into the zone it goes. Todd Marchand looks to find Letowski in front. That's turned the other way. And the Wild to center. Sergei Zholtok into the zone on left wing for Dave. Dave looks to drop it for Zholtok. Skates and shoots, and a save by Denis. Roll off. He'll wrap it around. Mitchell keeps right point. Now down low with it is Dave. Dave centering play. And all tied up that time was Eric Chouinard. And the puck played right back to center ice. Todd Roloff, and he'll dump one in for Columbus. Wayne Rolison can't move it along. Puck is free. And this one's going to clear to the line, but not out. Handling it is Sador. Sador to the side of the net. Marchand set on, and a save by Rolison. And it's played away as Zholtok will clear it all the way back to center and into the Columbus zone. 8 shots for the Blue Jackets, 7 for the Minnesota Wild, and it's a 2-1 Wild lead. Under 4 minutes to go. Bouchard leaves it for Walls into the zone. Locks it in. Set one on and just over the top of the net. At the line, Schultz. Out of the front, Walls looking to chase down a loose puck. Interference, no penalty called. Back the other way goes Zherdev. That's picked off his stick. And Andrew Castles plays it along. Derek Walser into the zone. And behind the net. Losing the handle that time, Rolison. Coming to the rescue, however, was Schultz, and it's played right back to Jackets counter. Zherdev drops it. Castles fanned on the opportunity, and quickly the other way goes Schultz. He'll headman to Marian Gaborik. Gaborik into the zone. His shot is on. Saved by Denis. And cleared to the corner by Eriksson. Things opening up a little bit here. Under 3 minutes remaining in the opening period. And this one played all the way back, and Andre Zuzin will set it up. Zuzin lost his stick. Puck play to the corner. Alex Henry. And now Marian Gaborik will get it out.
Zuzin tried to play the puck up the ice, and the blade went about 40 feet, but the puck just sat at his feet.
Marian Gaborik still inside of his own zone. Alex Henry with it. Willie Mitchell replaces Zuzan. And the puck played in behind the net. Henry looks to wrap it around, kept by Jamie Pusher. Puck at the line. Now the Wild get it outside the zone, and handling it is Alex Henry. For Willie Mitchell. To center ice, Andrew Burnett. Lead pass Dow. Dow will get it in. Dow trying to go to the backhander. Now Dow throws it to the middle. Bombardier with a shot. Just wide. Oh, what a deflection. But it just went wide and he's left. Wild coming close again the other way. Nash. He'll drop it. And a shot sent on that time by Manny Malhotra. Looks to center it again, but this one stepped up on by Bombardier, and he gets it to center. Alexander Daig with 1:42 remaining in the period. Lead pass over the line for Zoltak, but again, it's the Blue Jackets clearing it and sending it all the way back inside the Minnesota zone. Nick Schultz loses the handle. Played around left wing side, and Alexander Daig back to center. Here he comes for Sergei Zoltak. Zoltak into the zone, but turning it over out high and back the other way for Marchand. Marchand sent one on. Rollison holds, and we'll get a whistle and a stoppage of play. Still 2-1 Wild, and more good Minnesota chances. It's 2-1. First of 4 meetings between these two teams, and Brad Bombardier will find Antti Laaksonen. Rink wide pass over the line for Gaborik. Gaborik holding on to it. Gaborik with the puck. He'll ship it to the line. Bombardier. Now Bombardier to the front. Oh, and just deflected by Walls and nearly getting past Denis.
They've been getting so many more chances like that. The Minnesota Wild have gotten to the puck to the net, and they're getting their sticks on it. It's hitting people. Look at this little feed. Gaborik goes cross point, and it just sent on net by Bombardier. Sees Walls in front. There's the little deflection. Boy, Denis had to be sharp there. Walls having a pretty good game here.
He's got one of the 2 goals for the Minnesota Wild. The other one from Matt Johnson. Playing it back to center ice and inside of his own zone. Kubo. Gaborik looks to move it along. Here's Walls with it. At center. Lead pass for Bouchard. Roll off. Plays it along. Back to center ice. Right wing feed for David Vaborny. Taken away that time. Zuzan for the Wild. And it's played in behind the net. Philippe Kuba for Sergei Zoltak. Gets it to the line. Good keep by Daryl Sador. Played in behind the net. Andrew Castles under a minute to go here in this first period of play. Now Sador for Vaborny, but he can't deflect one. And the Wild look to get it out, and they will. Sergei Zoltak nearly fed that time on a breakaway by Bouchard. And it's Columbus to turn the other way. That's center ice. Zherdev. Lead pass it over the line, looking for Castles. Well, Jim Dowd frees it for Alex Henry. 5 seconds to go. Henry just sprints it back to center, and that will effectively kill off the remaining time as Nikolai Zherdev and Alex Henry have words at the whistle. As Alex Henry was hit by Zherdev with about a minute to go. Well, Matt Johnson, one of the 2 goal scorers, he'll join us momentarily. End of 1 tonight at XL Energy Center, and the Wild in the first of 4 meetings with Columbus lead the Jackets 2-1. XL Energy presents Hockey Night in Minnesota. Blue Jackets and Wild. Santa Claus and one of his helpers on hand here.
Santa looking a little thin there. He needs to put some weight on before next week.
Bring him up to the booth. Make him a play-by-play guy.
Just a black broadcaster.
Well, the Minnesota Wild got off to the quick start. Goals from Walls and Johnson. Sanderson countering for the Blue Jackets. And it is a 2-1 Minnesota lead. They need to get going to the faceoff circle, too. The Wild winning just 33% of their faceoffs in that first 20 minutes. So Eric Schwinnard on the draw. Eric out there right now with Kyle Wanvig and Alexander Daig. That's the forward unit to start the second period for head coach Jacques Lemaire. Puck is played in behind the net. Brad Bombardier will leave it there for Nick Schultz. That's center ice. Wanvig bounced off his stick. With it is Sanderson. He'll bring it right back into the front of the net. Loose. Covering it up and trying to clear it with Schultz, and he'll get some help from Wanvig as it's pushed up the left wing boards. And this one ends up at the bench, so we'll get a whistle.
Well, Schwinnard wasn't really a winger in pro. He's centerman in pro, excuse me. He played mostly on the wing, but he did play a lot of center when he played juniors. And so they're giving him a look in the middle of the ice there. He had 3 faceoffs in that first period, and out there with Kyle Wanvig and Daig on that shift, and he won 2 of the 3 he took in the first period, and 1 that he took here in this period. So look out of place.
Chance here, right to the net. Zherdev with a shot and a save there by Rolison. And the puck's going to be played away. Antti Laaksonen with it back to center. Laaksonen into the zone. Laying it around LaChance, kept down low, Bouchard. Antti Laaksonen plays it around, handling it is Zherdev. Columbus looks to get it moving. Walzer behind the net, leaves it there for Scott LaChance. And LaChance will bring it right back to the line. Good keep momentarily by Antti Laaksonen, and we get a whistle here, and the puck is played away. Derek Walzer with it inside the zone. Now Philippe Kuba on right wing tries to advance for Bouchard. Puck is played into the zone. Gaborik, penalty coming up here. It's a delayed call against Columbus. Touching is Zherdev, and we will get the whistle. Looks like a holding call, and so the Wild will go to the power play.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, this is their first one of the evening. He did score a shorthanded goal in this game, and you can see the reaction of Doug MacLean.
Well, he's usually like that, isn't he?
Right here, the hook on the arm, just enough for the hold as Gaborik tries to get to the loose puck. So calling that one pretty tight, but nevertheless, Derek Walzer goes to the box. Vaborny has left the ice, and he is their big penalty killer. He has their 3 shorthanded goals this year, and that leads the National Hockey League. And so big penalty killer for Columbus, not on the bench right now.
Zuzan and Zoltak defensively. They'll be the point men on this power play. Up front, Burnett with Jason Weimer and Marian Gaborik. Into the corner, Weimer plays it in behind the net. Burnett let it go there. Tyler Wright looks to clear. Zoltak will keep, skates in, shoots, and blocking it out high with the Blue Jackets. And Tyler Wright will move it along.
Well, you don't have to guess where that puck hit. Snap Weimer's stick right in half.
Now Hocher's shot goes high and wide. And it's turned the other way back to center. Into the zone, Gaborik. And now clearing it right back to center ice of the Blue Jackets. Andre Zuzan looks for Andrew Burnett. This one is handled by the Jackets as it's sent right in. In behind the net, Sergei Zoltak. 1:03 remaining in the Wild power play. Last night against Calgary, Columbus penalty killers were perfect. They went 6 kills out of 6. As Zoltak will move it to the line. Andre Zuzan sent to the net. Denis, no problem with that. Now Bouchard to the line. Zoltak sit in front, deflected. That time by Eric Chouinard. Oh, he was looking for the tip in. Now Chouinard with it again. Plays it along. Puck will be sent around. Bouchard down low. Daig to the front. Chouinard can't put it home. Zuzan plays it in behind the net for Daig. Now Daig with it. Daig surveys. Zuzan tries to get it down low. Eric Chouinard will go after it. Send it towards the net, and that's stirred aside by Denis. In behind the net, Bouchard to the line, Zoltak. Now Zoltak gives it there for Kuba. Kuba to Zoltak. Skates in, side of the net, tried to deflect it over there for Daig for the tip in, but it didn't work. Now Eric Chouinard with it. Chouinard holds to the front. Bouchard, his shot is blocked away by Sador and cleared right back to center. Out of the box is Walzer, so the Blue Jackets onside. They'll bring it in, but this one's turned, and back to center goes Dowd. Dowd into the zone, spreads it out. Dowd holding. We'll get it in behind the net for Matt Johnson. Kyle Wanvig with it. Wanvig out there right now instead of Burnett because Burnett was just on the power play. I would imagine that's why Wanvig has replaced him here on this unit. Now Wanvig in behind the net, wraps it around. Dowd sent to the front, and Todd Marchand will knock it away, and it's cleared back to center ice. Nikolai Zherdev with it. Zherdev into the zone. He drops it, Vaborny, but he can't move it along, and so it's turned the other way. Columbus keeps. Zherdev in behind the net. Oh, this kid's going to be good. Zherdev upended. We're going to get a penalty here, and this one's going to go against Philippe Kuba. Nikolai Zherdev showing his speed there.
Well, Zherdev, first rounder this year for the Columbus Blue Jackets, and actually played about 20 games for a team in Moscow. Had about 4 points, a couple goals, and then came over here and trying to get it done. Good perimeter speed there, and cuts around the front of the net, and Philippe Kuba just gets too much of them and gets the holding penalty.
So the time of the penalty, 4:26. Columbus 0 for 2 with a shot on.
Penalty on Minnesota, number 17, Philippe Kuba, 2 minutes for holding.
And this one's going to be played out of the zone back to center ice. Sador along with Marchand at the point man up front. Vaborny with Rick Nash and Andrew Castles. Nash into the zone. At the line, Vaborny plays it along Marchand. Now Vaborny, his shot blocked away partially. Nash to the front and just sent wide by Castles. And this one's cleared over the glass, and we'll get a face-off to the right of Rolison.
Well, Willie Mitchell did a good job of stepping back. Nash centered that puck, and basically Mitchell had to make a decision. The puck gets turned over, and there goes Bombardier. It's centered, and Mitchell steps back and takes Castles, which is smart because that left the shot to Dwayne Rolison, and Rolison could stop the sharp angle shot, but if you let that guy alone in front, he can deflect it in.
At the line and now into the corner. Castles sent to the front, and Vaborny can't finish it off. Gaborik fails to clear. Nash out high, intercepted by Gaborik. Gaborik will move it the other way. Marian Gaborik one-on-one against Rick Nash. Now Gaborik works at left wing corner. Gaborik will try to get it in behind the net. Denis will chase that around. Kept by Schultz. Schultz works it to the line. Dowd sent one towards the net, and boy, that I don't know if that hit the outside of the net or.
Yeah, it looked like it. Denis didn't see it. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, it's something. As the puck is played right back in. Dwayne Rolison, and he'll flip this one all the way back to center. Into the zone, Anders Eriksson. Now holding on to it momentarily, Antti Laaksonen. Columbus will counter the other way. Walzer into the zone. Trevor Letowski bested there by Brad Bombardier. Castles to the line. Eriksson back to Castles in front. One-timer Sanderson blocked away and cleared away by Bombardier. Todd Marchand with it. Now Marchand in behind the net. Marchand to the front again. This time a chance for Trevor Letowski, but Zuzan will play it in behind the net. And Bombardier comes away with it. Brad Bombardier, and he'll loft one all the way back inside the Columbus zone. And a Wild needed a line change there, and Nikolai Zherdev will set it up. Fresh unit out for the Minnesota Wild. Penalty is over. Kuba's back on the ice, and so they had 2 shots on that power play, did the Columbus Blue Jackets. And it's moved along. Back to center. Gaborik with it. Into the zone. Gaborik holds. Gaborik lost the handle. He'll give it off to Mitchell. Mitchell to the front. Sent through the crease by Zoltan. Gaborik got hammered. Play continues. Schultz behind the net. Now Zoltan with it. To the line. Willie Mitchell. Good keep there. But it's knocked free, and Nash will come back for Columbus. Rick Nash. Into the zone now. Hotra sent on. Stopped by Rolison. And the puck comes around as Marian Gaborik will move it to Zoltan. Zoltan for the Wild. 4-on-3 developing. Gaborik, his shot over the top of the net. Oh, you got to get that one on net. Great chance there for Marian Gaborik. He'll head to the bench, and Rick Nash the other way as his shot's blocked away by Alex Henry. Nash threw it in front, but it's turned the other way, and Kyle Wandvig's going to chase it down. Out in no man's land there was Denis. Dig holding, but now we're going to get a whistle, and evidently a penalty in behind the net up the ice between Henry and Nash. We'll check the penalty when we come back.
What happened down at the other end, the plays down at the other end. Nash likes to throw his hand over top of a player's head. He does have the size advantage on a lot of guys, but not always on a guy like Henry, and so they mix it up. Earlier before that, though, look at this shot. It kind of floats. It's a screen by the defenseman. Look at the move Denny makes. Not a flinch. He does not move until it hits the post or the outside of the net. It kind of grazed the outside of the post and skidded along the mesh of the net, and that's why it looks so funny. But no goal there as Columbus gets a break.
Really looked like one of those foam pucks that you used when you were a kid. And I mean really little. Puck played away as Philippe Kubo moving along.
My teammates used to take those out in practice. You'd think it was a real puck. they shoot one at your head, and you'd be diving all over the place. But thank goodness it was a foam puck.
Well, you got to be a little bit strange to be a goaltender anyways, as the puck is played in behind the net. Wes Walz will bring it along. Antti locks it into center. Give and go. Wes Walz with it. He'll bring it in. Walz dropped it there. This one's picked off by Columbus's Derek Walzer and cleared. Kuba has it. Back over the line for Gaborik. I knew what he was trying to do there, just trying to get it to Zoltak. Now Gaborik again with it. Gaborik holds on to it. Schultz. And this one turned the other way. Here comes David Vaborny. Vaborny with it. Vaborny in front. Vaborny still holding. And a save by Rolison. Well, Gaborik should go over and thank Dwayne on that play. Bailing out his forward. At the line. Holding. This one broken up. Schultz will turn the other way. Todd Roloff. This one moved in. Marchand drops it. Letowski, he hit the outside of the net. So the Blue Jackets now starting to buzz. Thrown to the front. Rolison again. Bombardier got upended. Nick Schultz will get it out. Sergei Zoltak. Here Columbus, they're hanging in there. 2-1 they trail it. 20 seconds to go in the 4-on-4. Todd Roloff looks to move it along. Now Jim Dow, free play. Zuzin skates in, shoots, scores! Andre Zuzin! 3-1 Minnesota.
Well, good to have him back in the lineup. You bet. Andre Zuzin, who has really picked up the offense this year, and he jams his third goal of the season in between the legs of Denis. Look at this shot, has a lot of time. Puck looked like it might have been rolling a little bit. Here's the pass, and watch the puck. It sat down for him. It sat down for him, and he just tees one up. Has a lot of time to walk in, and McLean not happy, not very happy to see someone have that much time, and he scores it.
Into the zone, Day. Shot blocked away by Anders Eriksson. Now the puck played around. Daig still trying to maintain possession, but it's turned the other way, and here comes Jeff Sanderson. 3-on-3 Columbus. Puck is played in. Rolison will steer that away with a stick. And Alexander Daig hits the outlet man. It's Gaborik. Gaborik into the zone. Gaborik holds, and a quick little wrist shot is blocked away by Jamie Pusher. Gaborik will get it right back. This one's taken away, and Rick Nash will bring it to center. Into the zone. Handling it is Jamie Pusher. Throws one in front, and Rolison makes the save, and he holds on. Well, the 2-goal lead is back for the Minnesota Wild. Andre Zuzin getting his third at 9:21 of the second period. Andre Zuzin is third of the season moments ago at 9:21. And here we go. Alex Henry's going to duke it out.
Jody Shelley.
Yeah.
Oh, on the button. You know what? And Jody Shelley is, you see the guys shaking their head on the bench going, well, but Shelley has not fared very well lately in a lot of his fights, and you see right there, left himself open, and we heard one of the reasons why is he's just trying to box too much instead of protect himself. And you know, a lot of players will take boxing in the summertime just to get their reflexes going, but if you try and do it too much, and boom, right on the button. If you try and do it too much, you end up not protecting yourself, because fighting on ice is not the newest attraction. But fighting on ice is definitely a different thing than having your feet firmly planted on the ground.
Well, Jody Shelley last night, as you look at him on the right there, he went with ex-Blue Jacket Christoph Oliwa. I guess he got filled in that one as well. Puck played in behind the net. Handling it is Willie Mitchell. Fighting majors at 10-11 between Jody Shelley and Alex Henry. Puck is played right back in. Into the corner, Tim Jackman. Pretty good job along the wall, but he loses the handle to Jim Dow. And Matt Johnson trying to get it out. Knocked away, sent towards the net, and no problem for Rolison. Now Jackman again, the front. This one taken away and cleared out of the zone, back to center. Andrew Burnett. Now with it is Willie Mitchell. Mitchell over the line, looking that time for Eric Chouinard. Burnett plays it. Well, a chance will Moving along as Chouinard plays it to the corner for Daig. Alexander Daig back to the front looking for Chouinard, and it's turned the other way and cleared. So Dwayne Rollison just kind of swats it away. And Daig looks to move it along for Chouinard as this one rolls to Mark Denis. Goaltender's getting involved.
Playing catch.
Now we get a whistle here.
Rollison, it's a risky play, but it's something you've seen Dominic Hasek use before, and that's where you basically drop the puck out of your glove and take a good swing at it. If you miss, you're in trouble.
Did you ever do that?
No, I missed. I was the guy who would miss. Look at this, bat. It's a good shot. I mean, he gets it out of the zone, but it's, like I said, it's a risky play. And
was right in the strike zone there. In behind the net, Brad Bombardier.
Hey, when you're dropping it yourself, usually you can put it in your own wheelhouse.
Yeah. Nick Schultz moves it along on right wing, and handling it is Eric Chouinard to center Kyle Wanvig. And we get a whistle here and an offside. And so we're going to face off. Andrew Burnett on that shift there.
Well, you know what I like about Andrew Burnett is he uses the tools that help him play this hockey game. Obviously, we've said before he's not a fleet of foot, but he certainly has some of the greatest hands you've ever seen. He has great vision in this game. He can really see the ice. He sees the ice almost in his mind, so he knows where guys are going to be. He almost doesn't even have to look to where he's passing it. And when he put that puck on the tape of Johnson, all he had to do was one-time it in the net in the first period.
Oh, he had that look of Burnett just moments ago. He's saying, good job, as Alex Henry went down the runway, headed towards the Wild locker room. Rick Nash in behind the net. Nash looks to set it up. He'll play it around to the corner. Philippe Kuba comes in front for Tyler Wright, but he's all tied up. In behind the net, Rick Nash thrown to the front. Wild look to clear it, and they'll bat it around as it's played to center for Gaborik. 3-on-2 developing for the Wild. Gaborik with it. Gaborik holding to the front, but he can't set up Zoltan. And turning with it is Rick Nash, and the Blue Jackets back in a 2-on-2. Now it's a 3-on-3. But easy takeaway for Willie Mitchell. And Philippe Kuba looks up the ice. Into the zone, Weimer. He'll drop a Zoltan to the front. Oh, Gaborik fanned out a one-timer. Marian Gaborik had a wide open net, and he just whiffed on it. In behind the net, Jamie Pusher. This one played around and back to center Marchand. Rink wide pass, they can't hook up. Turning with it again to the Wild. Into the zone it goes. Walls, he scores! Wes Walls making a 2-goal night, and it's 4-1 Wild.
Oh my, what a laser beam. 3-on-0. The defenseman, oh, he just gets burned. Look at this. 3 red jerseys, and Walls takes the shot, which is a smart thing to do when you have the corner. Denis really no chance there. Walls had too many options. He takes the shot over the shoulder. And Walls has 2 goals in this game. The Wild lead at 4-1.
And half of the Wild goals tonight created off odd man rushes presented by the Blue Jackets.
Second of the game, number 37, Wes Walls.
So Walls gets his 8th of the season and 2nd of the night. Marchand will set it up. In behind the net it goes. Handling it is Zuzan. He'll wrap it around. Zuzan and Loxton pick up the assists on the goal at 13:09.
Well, you see the odd man rushes in the way they've handled a lot of them. As you mentioned earlier, they've had a lot of injuries to their defensive core, and it really is showing in this game.
Walser touches up, and we get an icing call. Wes Walls, first he did it shorthanded, and then he just did it off the roof in behind Mark Denis.
Yeah, 3-on-0. Nice little play. Now here's another look at the goal. Walls just chips it up, puts it in there up under the bar, and they've had more injuries, Columbus, on their blue line this year as they had in the first 2 seasons.
1,807 man games out of their defensive core injured tonight. 1,800. I mean, 1,199 of those are Luke Richardson, but you've also got Spacek out, Klesla out.
It's a lot of experience out of your lineup.
Brad Bombardier will move it back through center, intended for Jim Dowd. Darryl Sador set it up in behind the net. This one's picked off. Handling it is Brunette. Circling Eric Chouinard. Trying to get it to the front. Kuba now. Sharp angle shot. And they'll dump it down the length of the ice. Zuzan touches up, and we get a whistle icing against Columbus. Wes Walz just moments ago with his second of the game. 4-1 Wild. Doug McLean's face right now. And his team was working hard carrying the play not too long ago, but all of a sudden they trail it 4-1. Daig to the front. Oh, a chance there. Eric Chouinard trying to get one on net. And it was Wanvig looking to get one pass set up by Daig. Daig has it again. Daig's shot blocked away. Eric Chouinard, pretty good stick there to get it inside the lane. Puck played to the line. Zuzan jams it along, and he'll keep it. Andre Zuzan holds. He sent it towards the net. Chouinard, he rang one off the crossbar. And the Blue Jackets will clear back to center. Handling it, Wanvig. Glove save, Denis.
The U.S. Link Hat Trick. Local, long distance, and internet. All from one company, all on one bill.
U.S. Link, it's for you.
Well, the Minnesota Wild, boy, they've really been charging in this last shift. And they may, in fact, get a penalty for something here. Here's the post that Chouinard hit. Right off the top of the post where the post and crossbar meet. The penalty, there you see the high stick. Goes to Wanvig, so he goes to the box.
Yeah, great look there. Kyle Wanvig for high sticking, and so the Blue Jackets here late in the second period with a chance to get back in the game. 15:28 the time of the penalty. The Wild penalty killing unit a perfect 3 for 3 so far here tonight. So the Blue Jackets trot out Andrew Castles up front. And he'll be joined by David Vaborny and Rick Nash, and the point men, Darryl Sador and Derek Walser. So the Jackets control. It's a 4-minute high sticking penalty to Kyle Wanvig. So lots of time here for the Blue Jackets. Willie Mitchell looks to go glass. He'll send him all the way back inside the Columbus blue line. Wes Walz in on the forecheck. He's already got a shorthanded goal here tonight. One of his 2. Andrew Castles with it into the zone for Nash. Nash sets it up, bouncing puck. Loxtonen's going to try to chase it down. Here comes Antti Loxtonen. He's got it. He got tripped up, and no penalty called. Can you give me a penalty shot? Maybe he caught stick. Castles will set it up. Marchand, and this one turned and sent all the way back. He must have stepped on his stick, Mike. Marchand got it to the line. Now Wes Walz will take it away, and Philippe Kuba sends right up the middle, but it's picked. Vaborny shot on, and a save by Rolison.
Well, you know, you're diving for the puck, and you try and go for the puck. I don't know if Sador got it or not, but in the swinging motion, he did put the stick down, and I believe that he stepped on it. But you know what? That's pretty tight to call. A referee, I've seen tripping calls called on a lot less blatant calls than that.
Sanderson in behind the net. He'll play it along Zherdev to the line. Now Todd Marchand with it. Sent towards the net. This one's poked away. Marchand gets it right back. Wrist shot towards the net. Save. That hit the outside. At the line, Eriksson moves it along. Marchand in the corner. Now Todd Marchand back to the line for Anders Eriksson. Playing it in behind the net, Manny Malhotra. Here's Zherdev. To the line, Marchand. One-timer. Eriksson stopped that time by Rolison. Well, they're looking for the deflection in front by Manny Malhotra. In behind the net, Philippe Kuba. Wild have killed off the first 2 minutes of this double minor. And Philippe Kuba plays it off the glass and down the length of the ice. Minute 40 left in the double minor. That's the time left of the Kyle Wanvig penalty. And the Blue Jackets bring it along. 2 minutes to go in the period. Here's Dowd. Short-handed. In on Denis. Shoots, save, rebound. Did it go over the line? They say no.
I think he laid down on the puck just in time. Oh, boy.
It might have gone over the line, but it would be inconclusive anyways because you can't X-ray through Mark Denis.
Oh, what were they thinking on this? Look at this. Just leave the puck there. Dowd says thank you very much. Moves in, shot, gets the rebound as he actually tries to push Denis into the net. And there it is, right on the goal line, and he lays on it. So, oh my. Save is made, his momentum carries. Look at the stick bend for Dowd. He tries to shoot Denis into the net as well.
Well, the fans want a goal. You can hear their reaction after the replay on the video scoreboard.
Now that wasn't in, but it was a great opportunity.
At the line, holding on to it is Derek Walser. To the front, Vaborny. Vaborny right there. Oh, Nash can't put home a loose puck. In behind the net, Rick Nash. Thrown to the front. Handling it is Derek Walser. Walser checked off the puck. Castles with it out high. Just inside the right point for Columbus. Down low, Nash. Castles, he'll take a shot blocked away. Zoltak, and he'll skate it away. Sergei Zoltak, and he gets it back through centers. This one's deposited inside the Columbus blue line. 38 seconds to go. Lead pass that time intended for Manny Malhotra. It'll come around the wall. David Vaborny with it. In behind the net, Manny Malhotra. Under a minute to go in the period. 23 seconds to go in the Columbus power play. At the line, poked away and cleared. And Gaborik will chase one down along on left wing. Gaborik into the corner. Marion Gaborik gives it to Walls. In for Mitchell. One-timer save by Denis. Oh, Willie Mitchell wasted no time on that one. Sanderson back the other way. And the penalty is over, so Kyle Wanvig out. Malhotra shot on and a save that time. Ling tried to put it in behind the net. And it's sent around as playing it at the line is Sanderson, but Wanvig will get it outside the zone. Kyle Wanvig with it. Here he comes into the zone for Weimer with a shot blocked out high. Into the front. He can't put it home. Gaborik, loose puck in the crease. Handling it is Weimer, but the Jackets will clear. Bombardier touches up with 2.5 seconds remaining. Well, the Schwann Food Company presents great moments in the state of hockey. Log on at wild.com. You can vote for your favorite moment. You may select from 5 on the list or add a write-in favorite. Balloting ends the 23rd of December. What a crazy latter half of the period here at XL Energy Center today.
Well, I mean, the Columbus Blue Jackets just keep leaving the zone without the puck or without support. And it really has turned the game back the other way for the Minnesota Wild. They are just feasting on the transition game this evening.
So the Minnesota Wild add a pair in the second. Zuzan and Walls get the goals. End of 2 tonight at XL Energy Center. 4-1 Wild. Stay tuned. We'll talk with Wes Walls when we come back.
Great defensive hockey because it just tends to open the game up.
Here come the Wild again. Eric Chouinard sent on. Brathwaite the save. And the puck's going to be whistled down with a high stick, so they'll mark the faceoff coming inside the Columbus zone. Pretty rough start as Eric Chouinard got a beautiful shot off high on Fred Brathwaite.
Well, he said to me this morning that he loves to put the puck on net, and you're seeing it right now as Chouinard breaks down the wing, pulls up, takes a shot, puts it off the shoulder of Brathwaite. Earlier in the game, Chouinard put a couple pucks on net, put one off the crossbar, and doing a good job in this game.
Zuzan's shot is blocked away out high. So Alex Henry will set it up for Antti Laaksonen. And now turning with it is Laaksonen. He'll move it to center for Wes Walls. Walls looks to get it right back. Laaksonen muscled off the play there. And so the Columbus Blue Jackets will set it up. With it in behind the net, Derek Walser. The Wild offense coming to life on that road trip. They're carrying it over here tonight with 4 goals. Castles sent in. Rollis in the save. Cleared away by Zuzan. And Zuzan will start it back the other way. For Antti Laaksonen. Laaksonen tries to keep it inside of the zone. Antti Laaksonen bumped by Vaborny. And the puck continues to move down the left wing wall. Now the Blue Jackets will get it out. David Vaborny. And this one will be sent right back in. Change on for the Columbus Blue Jackets, so setting it up is Philippe Kuba. 23 Columbus shots, just 1 goal, 20 shots for the Wild, They have 4 tallies tonight. Mitchell through center, Jason Weimer. Now Sergei Zoltak gets it in over the line. Weimer leaves for Gaborik. Back to Weimer. In behind the Columbus net. Sergei Zoltak. Now Zoltak out of the corner. Gaborik one-timer and a save off the left pad by Freddie Brathwaite. And this one will be played right back in as Rick Nash dumps it in behind Rolison. Rolison will go off the glass here, picked off by Jamie Pusher. In behind the net again, Nash battling for it. Kuba sends it past Nash, holding his Anders Eriksson, but intercepting is Jim Dowd. And Dowd right back to center. Dowd with it into the zone. He drops it for Gaborik. Gaborik to the front. They look to finish it off for Burnett, but back the other way go the Blue Jackets. As this one's tipped along by Jody Shelley. Rolison plays it around. Jim Dowd is there. Dowd took a bump from Jody Shelley, and Alex Henry will play it in behind his own net. Henry trying to get it out. He will. Matt Johnson back to center. Bumps with Shelley. Now Andrew Burnett. He'll find it for Jim Dowd. Dowd into the zone. Leaves it at the line for Alex Henry. Nice move to get around Shelley. Henry to the front. Shoots and a save. Oh, Alex Henry looking for his first National Hockey League goal, and I thought he might have had it there on the wrister. Great move out of the right circle by Alex Henry. Matt Johnson the other way. Johnson tied up by Roloff, takes a tumble, and the Blue Jackets bring it along. David Ling, and this one's sent right back in. Brad Bombardier. Now Nick Schultz, headmanning play. Knocking it away are the Blue Jackets. The other way goes Jeff Sanderson. Into the zone. Sanderson plays it down along the right wing wall. In behind the net. Handling it is Derek Walser. He's all tied up in front. They score. Quick feed to Trevor Letowski, and it's 4-2 Wild.
Well, just a bang-bang play. Actually, a very pretty goal by the Columbus Blue Jackets. Letowski with a one-timer, fed by Jeff Sanderson. And Sanderson just good work behind the net. And then look at Letowski, just back up. It goes between the skates and bang into the corner. And this is just assignments, and the Wild just get mixed up there. And no one took Letowski, who was on the goal line, but then backpedaled a little bit and got himself in the position and set himself up for a goal.
So Letowski gets his 5th of the season. Walser assisting, and the goal comes at 3:27. Todd Marchand will also pick up an assist. So Columbus with some life. They get one in front. Sanderson sent on, and that's handled by Rolison. Philippe Kuba looks to chip it, and he will. 2-on-1 developing. It's Daig and Eric Schwinnard. Daig holding to Schwinnard in front and almost put in that time by Todd Marchand.
Marchand on the back check tried to cut the pass off, and he almost put it in his own net. Good job by Brathwaite to stay with it.
At center. Dumping it in is Bouchard. Around the wall it goes. Handling it is Wes Walz. Back to center. Andrew Castles for Columbus. Into the zone. This one sent towards the net. Wes Walz looks to take it away, and it's batted away to center. Jamie Pusher. Laying it along back to center ice. Handling it is David Vaborny. He'll ship it in. Alex Henry going after it. Puck led to the corner. Zherdev. Now David Vaborny getting worked over by Zuzan. Vaborny to the front again. Chance, and it's right through the crease. Well, Columbus is seeing something here because they're getting pucks to the front of the net. Jamie Pusher, and he'll send one around. Down low is Weimer. Alex Henry can't move it along. Intercepting is Jackman to the front again, and this one deflected high and wide. And so Columbus with a spurt here after getting some life on the Trevor Letowski goal back moments ago at 3:27. Zoltak battling for possession. Pushes it to the Columbus blue line, intercepting though Daryl Sador, and he'll send right back in. Into the corner. Henry can't move it along. Comes in front again. Chance there. They battle away at it. Nash again, and finally it's Alex Henry, and he'll go off the glass, and he clears. Well, Columbus has been in spurts. Remember, Mike, they were down 2-1 and kind of an interesting situation here as they continue to put on some pressure.
Well, let's take a look at who's hot, brought to you by Bryant Heating and Cooling, and that man has been probably more than hot. He's been pretty much the whole team. You look how much he figures into the points. The last 26 goals that the Jackets have scored, he's been a part of about half of them. And he's on pace to go over 50 goals this year. That would be incredible if he did. Be the first time that a teenager did it since Wayne Gretzky and Jimmy Carson did it years and years ago. So
Jimmy Carson.
Yeah, that's a that's a name from the past. Then again, so is Wayne Gretzky.
You don't hear a lot about Jimmy Carson. Not really involved in the game anymore as the puck is played. Ling will get it over the line. Tyler Wright, his shot goes wide. Andrew Burnett tries to work it along the far boards. Can't get it out. LaChance, he kind of fanned on it. Now Burnett will move it back out of the zone as Matt Johnson and Tyler Wright hook up, and Jim Dowd will play for Nick Schultz. Schultz for Minnesota. Moves it along. Jim Dowd with it. Dowd over the line, holds. Dowd gets it back in front. Burnett, he was all tied up nicely by LaChance. Puck freed, though, by Daig. Nearly too many men on the ice for Columbus. And Tyler Wright will flip this one back inside the Wild blue line. Willie Mitchell in behind the net. Leaves it there for Philippe Kuba. Mitchell out of the corner. Moved along to center by Wanvig. They poke around at it, and the Blue Jackets come away with it. Todd Marchand into the zone. He holds, and a chance there, blocked away out high. Trevor Letowski couldn't set it up, and so Eric Chouinard will get it to center. Here comes Kyle Wanvig. Daig with it. Daig to the front. Chance. Oh, and getting a piece of that was Brathwaite. Daig gets it right back, handling it. Wanvig, chance, rebound, Chouinard. Oh, and he couldn't get a shot off. Brathwaite's lost his stick. To the front, Wanvig. He fired it over the top of the net. Wanvig again, and he fanned on it. Mitchell, set on. Brathwaite the save. Playing it in behind the net is Daig. Eric Chouinard tries to put it in front, flat-footed over the Jackets. Well, it's been a game of spurts for both clubs. The Wild all over the Columbus goaltender. They'll keep it in. Playing it around is Bouchard. Leaves it there. Wes Walz to set it up for Bouchard. Now Bouchard working it around on left wing. Daig with it. Sent it in behind the net. Mitchell will keep the right point. Gets it down low for Wes Walz. In behind the net, Daig. Now Daig trying to go wide. Alexander Daig with it. We'll give it off to Alex Henry. Henry bumped by Sanderson. Puck comes right in front. Marchand will clear this one all the way back down the length of the ice. And they wave off the icing. Zuzan to set it up. Columbus in a line change. Andre Zuzan to center. Got it right back and over the line. Daryl Sador takes it away. And Columbus comes right back to center. Todd Roloff popped it up at the line. Alex Henry gets it back to center. Turning with it is Zherdev for the Blue Jackets. Henry takes passes out of the play, so Zuzan will play it around. Sergei Zholtak will flip this one all the way back into the neutral zone. 11:22 remaining in regulation. Wild with that 4-2 lead. And in behind the net, Weimer will play it. As Sergei Zholtak will set it up. Henry on left wing. Locks it. Headmanning play for Sergei Zholtak. Zholtak with it. The feed in front. Chance Weimer, and he's stopped by Brathwaite. We'll get a whistle. Well, Columbus had a flurry, and the Minnesota Wild have answered right back in a 4-2 game. Going to be cleared away. Alexander Daig can't get it out. Pusher sent one just wide. Blue Jackets are doing a very good job, I think, of getting players in front of the net. Wild trying to counter it. Eric Chouinard that time upended.
Took the puck in the face, I think.
Yeah, as the Jackets get it deep again. Bouncing puck here. Trevor Letowski put it in front. Marchand point blank save. Rollis. And Alexander Daig will shift this one right back in. Jamie Pusher, under 9 minutes remaining. Moves it along, intercepting. Now Bouchard with it. Set on, save that time by Brathwaite. Good bid there by Bouchard, who's looking for his first tally since October in a game at Tampa. This one played right back in. Sanderson moves it along. Derek Walzer sent towards the net, but Verborny couldn't hook up on the play. And Bouchard will look to move it along on the right wing. Played down low. Castles with it. Thrown to the front, but right there, Wes Walz. And Walz will flip this one over to the defenseman, Derek Walser, and back down the length of the ice. Wild with a 4-2 lead. We roll on. 8:10 remaining in regulation. Andre Zuzin to the line. Gaborik can't pick it off. Well, Alex Henry in the corner to the front. Castles denied. Gaborik looks to go chase it again. Columbus gets it in deep. Sergei Zoltak. Now Andre Zuzin will play in behind the net. Crazy bounce there. Zherdev to the line. LaChance. His shot blocked out high. Vaborny with it. Behind the net. Zherdev comes around, but Weimer will play it away for Sergei Zoltak. And Zoltak will get it out to Alex Henry. Lead pass on left wing for Gaborik. Sent on, save, and a rebound, but he can't buy it. Behind the net, Zoltak. Now down with it. Right wing corner. Jim Dowd holding on behind the net. Looking to move it there for Gaborik. And it's Zherdev for Columbus. And he'll play it away and back into the zone where Philippe Kuba takes it away. So the play just keeps rolling on, back and forth, up and down the ice. Columbus has had a couple of good looks. Jim Dowd will intercept. And he plays it right back in. Johnson jams it along on left wing. Now handling it is Jim Dowd. Dowd to the front. Loose puck right off Brathwaite's glove, and it's cleared away back to center. Willie Mitchell for Philippe Kuba. At center, good give and go here, and it's Burnett to bring it back inside the Columbus zone. Leaves for Jim Dowd. Down to the corner. Tied up by Daryl Sador, and we're going to whistle here as Brathwaite holds on to the puck to get a face-off. Well, guess the Minnesota Wild will play golf at the beautiful Troy Byrne Golf Club, located just 20 minutes east of St. Paul. This Tom Lehman signature course will host a nationwide tour event next July, and Mike and myself would like to send Wes Walz out to Troy Byrne,
along with Matt Johnson.
In behind the net. Columbus looks to move it along. This one sent in behind goaltender Dwayne Rolison. Alexander Daig to set it up. Lost the handle. Columbus will get it in the neutral zone, and here they come. Under 6 minutes remaining in the third period tonight at XL Energy Center. 4-2, the Minnesota Wild. They've never trailed in this game. They led 2-0, 3-1, and then 4-2. To the front, and that one just sent wide by Sanderson. Trevor Letowski in behind the net. Marchand to the line, Pusher. Pusher fanned on it. Turned the other way, and Marian Gaborik's going to go one-on-one. It's a Saturday night solo for Gaborik. He drops it now. Zoltak, he scores! Sergei Zoltak! High over the shoulder of Freddie Brathwaite. 5-2 Wild.
Time and space, and a great shot, and the Wild put another one in the net. Look at this. Look at the back check. They're changing. They're calling for the change. You wonder why this team's not winning games. It's a 3-on-2, and they're calling for a change instead of back checking. And look at Zoltak. The time he has, he just rips one off the bar and puts his 5th point up in the last 4 or 5 games.
Well, he got to the 100 mark, and now he's just blowing right past it. Sergei Zoltak getting his 100th NHL goal on the recent road trip. He gets his 5th here tonight. A little insurance for the Minnesota Wild, with a single assist to Marian Gaborik at 14:29. Wild pick it off in the neutral zone. Wes Walz, he'll move it along. Antti Laaksonen, good stutter step move there. Now Laaksonen plays it to the line. But this one's taken away by Andrew Castles to center for David Vaborny. And he sends one back in behind Rolison. Brad Bombadil in behind the net. Philippe Kuba trying to move it along. Vaborny upended. And this one's going to be played away as Weimer brings it right back to center. Jason Weimer into the zone. Weimer going wide. Now Weimer behind the net. Hanging out is Burnett, just trying to go to the front. Now Johnson backhander right to the net. And a loose puck is turned the other way, and the Blue Jackets will bring it along. Zherdev gave it to Ling, but the Blue Jackets are offside. Sergei Zoltak. He goes top shelf, and it's 5-2 Wild. A 5-2 lead tonight against Columbus. In fact, 3 goals tonight coming for the Wild on 10 odd man rushes. Philippe Kuba moves it along for Willie Mitchell. Closing in on 4 minutes remaining here. Minnesota Wild trying to run their win streak at home to 2, including 3 of the last 4 in the win column here at XL Energy. One big set on, stopped by Brathwaite. Burnett works it along in the corner, as does Jim Dow. Finally taking it away is Tyler Wright. He'll get it back to center. David Ling is there. Ling for the Blue Jackets. Gets around Gaborik. In behind the net. They throw to the front. Dowd, and he'll ship it in behind the net. Tyler Wright was all over that. Now Jody Shelley is there. Shelley and Tyler Wright. Now David Ling. Columbus looking to set it up again. In behind the net, Tyler Wright looks to throw it to the front. Jody Shelley's there. Jim Dowd looks to take it away, and Philippe Kuba will intercept for Andrew Burnett, and he gets it right back. Gaborik will chase this one down. Brathwaite beats everybody to the puck. That's center for Jamie Pusher. And now Alex Henry. Andre Zuzin to center. Alexander Daigle bounced right off his skate. Played to the line, and now we're going to get a whistle here. And a face-off. Well, let's take a look at tonight's Wells Fargo High School report. Boys Class AA rankings. Eden Prairie leading the way, followed by Edina, Moorhead, Centennial, and Hill Murray rounding out the top 5. Meanwhile, the Blue Jackets will dump it right back in. Andre Zuzin swats it away, and this one's going to be turned by Gaborik. 3-on-2 developing for the Wild. Gaborik with it. Gaborik holding on to it. Gives it off there for Zuzin. Now Zuzin sent on. And looking for the deflection in front was Matt Johnson. Behind the net and chasing it down is Andre Zuzin. Wild doubling up the Blue Jackets. 12-6 on shots here in the third. Gaborik put it in front. Now Gaborik will try to keep the zone, but it's turned the other way. Into the zone. Now Hotra hits the trailer. Nash sit on, and a save by Rolison.
And Nash goes after Gaborik after the whistle. They were getting into it earlier on in the play. And then when the whistle went, Gaborik took a shot at Nash, and then Nash went after Gaborik, and this is how this scrum ensued.
A few heavyweights out there too, including Matt Johnson. Alex Henry is also out there.
Here's the hit. It flattens Gaborik. And so Gaborik gives him a little shot later on.
Oh.
And so there goes Nash.
I don't know if you can call that a fight. Certainly the aggressor in that situation was Rick Nash. Marian Gaborik heads to the Minnesota Wild dressing room.
Well, it was a long time coming after they hit down in the Columbus zone. Gaborik was
picking
just,
your spot, right?
Just paying back a little bit, and of course it gets them both off the ice. Only a couple minutes left here, and a 5-2 Wild lead. And Gaborik a little bit frustrated naturally. Hasn't put the puck in the net in about 9 games here. 10 if he doesn't score tonight.
Well, you can catch Wild highlights, player interviews, and NHL news with host Dan Terhar on the cable television program Call of the Wild. The show will tape this Monday from the Whiskey Rack in North St. Paul, beginning at 5:30. Matt Johnson will be there on this Monday. It begins at 5:30. Be able to talk about his goal earlier in this game. Matt Johnson getting his 4th back at 5:57 of the first.
Marian Gaborik, 2 minutes for cross-checking and 2 minutes for roughing.
So Gaborik gets 2 for cross-checking, 2 for roughing, and Columbus's Rick Nash gets a 4-minute roughing penalty.
2 minutes for cross-checking and 2 minutes for roughing. And 17
Willie Mitchell to set it up. Play to the corner, Philippe Kuba. And now Bouchard, good give and go with Wes Walz. Monty locks it and dumps it right back in, and we'll get a whistle here.
A reminder that AAA, the official hose of the Minnesota Wild, is offering free emergency car service after
No, the Minnesota Wild have put some pucks in the net as of late. You can see in the last 5 games, they put in 17 markers. Before that, just a few more and quite a few more games. So Wild is starting to find the net now, and they're starting to drive to the net. It's created a nice little unbeaten streak for them.
Yeah, that's good to see, not to mention the fact, you know, when you're playing so well defensively as a unit and getting great goaltending, that it's going to be, just imagine once Marion hits his stride, you would think that that's only a matter of time. Wes Walz coming through with a huge goal back at 4:32 of that first period of play, shorthanded, to really give his team a lift. And don't forget about Andre Zuzin. His goal made it 3-1 when Columbus had some momentum going.
Well, the thing about the Wild is they, especially last year, they had everybody pitching in, and that's how they've won in the past, and I presume that's how they're going to try and win this year.
New heroes every night.
Absolutely.
Rollison will play him behind the net, leaving it there. Kuba now, Willie Mitchell would advance it. Pierre-Marc Bouchard to center. Bouchard with it, into the zone he goes. Bouchard holds, his shot is blocked away. 42 Minnesota Wild shots, 2 in this one here tonight, Mike, so they continue to get pucks on net. Blue Jackets with 29. Nick Schultz will bring it along. I'll have to take a look at the shots as Kyle Wanding sends one in. The shots during this stretch for the Minnesota Wild, this winning stretch. Under a minute to go. Zherdev drops it there. Castles picking that one off is going to be Brad Bombardier. And the Wild come right back. Burnett into the zone. Handling it. Wandvig to the front. Chance. Rebound Wandvig. And it's covered up by Brathwaite. And he says, hey, I'm not going to get a face-off. Let's get out of here. So he lets it go. Burnett will pick it off. Castles now plays inside of his own zone. And it's sent right back to center. Nikolai Zherdev got a little bit of a tug there from Jim Dowd. And the Wild will counter. Zoltak. Dowd at center. Sends right back in. 12 seconds to go. And the Minnesota Wild are going to get their 7th win on home ice here. Andre Zuzin at center. Plays it along Zoltak. And that's going to do it. The Minnesota Wild win it 5-2. Dwayne Rollison has now gone 13 of his last 14 with allowing 2 or less, including 6 in a row.
Well, they're doing it from every end. The goaltending, the scoring, defensemen are playing great, and the Wild are getting rewarded for their hard work.
Wes Walz with a pair of goals tonight as well, and the Columbus Blue Jackets still without a road win this season. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back to talk about it. Wild victorious 5-2.
The number 2 star with 1 goal and 2 assists. Wild defenseman number 20, Andre Zuzin. And the number 1 star with 2 goals, Wild forward number 37, Wes Walz.
So the Minnesota Wild get 5 on the board tonight. They win it by the final score of 5-2. And this one, a lot of fun. Energy Center. For Mike Greenlay and Matt McConnell, I'm Matt McConnell saying good night from the XL Energy Center. It was a 5-2 Wild victory. Don't forget Tuesday night over on Fox Sports Net. It'll be the Wild and Nashville Predators at 7. You can join us December the 30th as the Wild travel to Edmonton to take on the Oilers. That game right here on Fox 9. Stay tuned. Fox 9 News is coming up next. Thanks for watching, everyone.